cities, Rock Island, Dixon, back into Rochelle and up to Rockford. And what this is going to do is provide that much needed bandwidth that high-tech companies, medical research companies, insurance companies are looking for when they locate to an area. So I think that providing that bandwidth, that superhighway for telecommunications in northwest Illinois and eastern Iowa is going to do a great deal to, again, attract businesses right here.
Excellent. I see you have done your homework quite well.
Well, I take it seriously.
Yes.
This isn't a game, and it's not a business, it's a passion.
That's right. Excellent, excellent. Our next question, it falls in the line of employment as well. This comes from Mr. Dennis J. report. He asks, what type of program would you like to see implemented to build a more skillful workforce in the 45th District?
Well, Dennis has a very good question. I'd like to start answering that question by saying hats off to companies like John Deere. Hats off to companies like Caterpillar, who are Illinois-based companies and have done an excellent job of keeping their company in Illinois and keeping jobs here in Illinois. I think they're two model companies that we can look towards to expand on, and really hats off to them. I believe that we need to start looking at skilled trades again. For so long, Northern Illinois was a tool and die industry area. We were the capital of tool and die, and there's a lot of skilled labor out there who are without jobs because those jobs have moved on. So I would like to work with companies like John Deere and Caterpillar and go to companies like Boeing, who have moved to Chicago to their ivory tower down on Wacker Avenue for a big subsidy, a big tax break is what they got. To bring 300 executive level jobs, 300 or so executive level jobs to Chicago. I'd like to go to companies like Boeing and other companies and say, we want to train our workers up here. We've got a great workforce up in northwest Illinois. But the next time you have a contract, don't send that out to Seattle or Everett, Washington, or Tacoma. Let's keep that right here in northwest Illinois, in Rockford and in Freeport, and we will find the money to train our workforce to update them on the new technologies that you need to make your product and your services.
Excellent. Okay, so you're willing to take the lead on this and take the charge.
You know, I think you have to. I think that's part of that 80% is you almost have to, in my opinion, go out and really solicit businesses and talk to leaders and talk to business leaders and market the area, because we do live in a very beautiful area of the state. And yes, I'm willing to take that lead.
Excellent.
I can't do it alone, Patrick, but I'm willing to take the lead.
You guys right here on the bottom line. You heard it first right here on the bottom line. Our next question comes from Miss Lenora H. from Dixon, Illinois, and she asks, with the price of health care on the rise throughout the nation, what are your plans to address this issue in regards to the 45th District?
Well, Lenora is a great question, and one that hits me personally. Patrick, a little personal story here. I'm so passionate about what I'm doing that I left my job. I had a great job, and I had a great boss. My boss is Jesse White, Secretary of State. And I left my position to run for this office because I'm passionate and I believe I can make a difference and I believe I can make change. In doing so, I also had the option of purchasing my insurance through Cobra, which I couldn't do, or going without health insurance. So I'm walking around right now, unemployed, uninsured, running my campaign for the Illinois State Senate. Now I was in Winnebago for a great 4th of July parade that they have over there every year. And I was talking to this woman, I was shaking hands, and I worked the crowd hard. And I looked at this woman and I said, can I shake your hand? She goes, absolutely. I said, it's a dog. Okay, the dog is gentle, no problem. So I reached out to shake her hand and the dog grabbed me right here. And for about 3 seconds, this 40-pound dog was hanging on my arm. And I still have the bruises and the marks. But my point is after that fear set in. The first thing that I thought about was, I don't have any health insurance. What's going to happen? We cleaned up the wound. It's healing just fine. So there are a lot of people who are without health insurance. There are a lot of people who cannot afford the health insurance that we have out there. We have taken a Band-Aid approach to healthcare. We either get it through our employer, or we purchase it ourselves, or we have some sort of subsidized insurance. It's time to stop with a Band-Aid approach. I believe that we need to start seriously looking at a national healthcare system that will allow everyone the same access, the same quality, and the same price health insurance for the betterment of us as a society and as a country.
This next question comes from Mr. John W. from Stockton, Illinois. Now, I was debating about this question, but I'll put it in anyway. He asked, are you for or against Americans going to Mexico or to Canada in order to purchase their prescription drugs? Because it's much cheaper over there than it is here. Are you for or against that?
Patrick, until we get the cost of prescription medications under control here in the United States, I would support anyone finding their medications at a cheaper price, whether that's in Canada or Mexico. We need to seriously look at the pharmaceutical companies, the insurance programs that we have out there for medications. I would support that.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, this next question comes from me.
Okay.
This is the first question.
This is a toughie.
I'm sure everyone wants to know about this, okay? What are your thoughts on this energy crisis that we're having? Do you feel that we as a country should more actively find alternative fueling sources? So we drill other places? In other words, what is up with the gas prices, man?
Yeah.
What is up with the gas prices?
Well, Patrick, it's killing me too. And I believe that every president, from Jimmy Carter, a Democrat, okay, to George Bush, a Republican, should hold some of the responsibility for the position that we're in right now. I remember when I was a kid, 1976, I was 13 years old, and the news had the big lines of the gas crisis, and cars were backed up for blocks just to get gas from the local gas station. But nothing was done. There was never a comprehensive energy policy put into place then or at any time between then and now. And again, incumbent on both Democrats and Republicans in the White House to do that. It wasn't done. I believe we have a great resource here in Northwest Illinois. I would like to see renewable energies be a focal point for jobs and economic development and growth, whether that be wind power. I just toured the Atkins ethanol plant today. I have friends who are associating themselves with companies that will bring Jutropha and biofuels into the area. So has there been enough done? No, there hasn't been enough done. And as a result, we're paying $4.13 a gallon gas, and we don't see any end in sight. We're behind the 8 ball on this. Shame on us. It's our mistake. We should have gone after it 30 or 40 years ago, and I just hope we can catch up from here on out.
Do you see an end in sight? Do you see an end in sight? I mean, the price, every time I go past the gas station, those little numbers are changing. I mean, people who had secure jobs around the guys who changed those little numbers on the signs. They have job security. I mean, do you see an end in sight?
Well, there has to be. It has to cap out at some point. So I think there will be an end in sight. I think the rule of diminishing demand will somehow come into play. That we will just stop using as much as we do because we can't afford it. Whether that be through carpooling or changed lifestyles or more efficiency in our vehicles. So I think there is an end in sight, but that won't put us any further back down the totem pole. It won't go back down. So I think those prices will cap off, but we won't see any relief.
Well, I'm going to skip ahead to a question that's a little bit more personal, okay, for me. Mr. Edward H. Freeport asks, the third world community of Freeport has had flooding issues for the past 50 years or more. The city has promised to correct the problem, but very little has been done. Will you be willing to assist this predominantly African American community with this issue?
Patrick, there's no question about it.